All right, guys, so I'm trying to finish up that customer pickup bin today, get that thing filled up, and also just move the wood. I'll take y'all out there with me, but I want to move the wood out from under the finished conveyor. I'm going to see what's leaking up there on that motor that's driving that conveyor. I don't know if you guys saw the previous video, but I've got something, either the gear oil inside or I've got a hydraulic leak or something up there. I want to make sure it's not the gear oil, or if it is, I need to refill it. There's not a whole lot of oil in that gearbox there, and I don't want it to be dry by any means. So I'm going to take a look at that once I get that pile moved from under there. And I'm trying to just prepare for running that tractor trailer load of oak that we've got in over the weekend. I've got one tractor trailer load of nothing but oak. I'm not sure exactly what it weighs yet. I don't have the weigh ticket, but I wanted to see how many IBC totes I get out of an entire tractor trailer. So I've got like right at 60 totes available for me to fill. So I think that's enough to crate up that entire load. So that would be something interesting. I would love to know that for my own purpose. Not that every tractor trailer weighs the same, but I mean, it's a rough estimate. And then, you know, we kind of know that about 5 of those totes equals a true cord. So based on how many totes we get, we'll know how many cords, you know, we're getting out of it and that kind of thing. And then also we sell it by the tote here picked up. So we'll kind of be able to quantify, you know, how much the load costs in relation to how much we get. Worst case scenario, if we were to sell it all from the yard here, that's definitely the cheapest way we sell firewood. You know, if we deliver it, you know, there's quite a bit of extra cost involved there. So we pass that on to the consumer, of course, and we get a good bit more for it doing it that way, delivering it, stacking it where the customer wants, and that kind of thing. So but we'll get out there. I'm going to get that customer pickup area finished off. I'm going to move a couple IBC cages to make a sidewall for myself, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll carry you out there with me. So this is the pile of wood that I'm hoping to get moved this morning. So decent bit though left there from that last load we got processed. So we went ahead and moved a couple, just 2 dump trailer loads over here yesterday. If you guys saw that video of how we do that and why we do that, that was explained in the prior video. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'll be putting a couple more cages right here, and then I'm going to bucket that wood into here and get it as high as I can with the skid steer, and then I'll put a few cages here and dump over them, put a few more cages right here and dump over them with the skid steer, and hopefully I'll have enough room to get all that wood over here. That's that wood that's over there is more of the outskirts of the pile, so it's not where all that debris was. That center stuff that had most of the debris in it has been moved over here and sorted through by hand. So that's, you know, and then this is what's left after we've done that. I've scraped both of those dump trailer loads, the back of them. So this is just the debris that's left out of basically out of the core of that pile. And there's some usable kindling and stuff in there, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty much trash. And I know that's a good bit. You know, I don't know if it's easy to visualize that, but I'm just gonna push that into the fire, and that stuff will be gone quick. That stuff burns up real fast. I'm gonna get this stuff moved over here, and hopefully I can get it all into this little corner here. I know it's a good bit of wood to just try to fit in this one little spot, and then there's still gonna be room above it because my skid steer will only pile so high, and so we'll be able to do a little bit more resplitting right here. I'm just gonna stack them too high so that the conveyor, that 32-foot conveyor, can get over top of it, and we'll get all this just filled in entirely. And then, you know, it's a lot of wood right here. I'm not sure how much. You know, we don't really, it would be really hard to tell exactly. There's no way to get an exact quantity, but I could certainly get a decent guess based on a few measurements if I wanted to. But it's a pretty good size pretty good sized bin, and this is the side that we'll be accessing from to begin with. We'll end up just pulling these crates away, and then coming in from this corner here. This stuff's been here a long time over here in this corner, so we'll utilize all that when the season gets here, and we'll start selling from there and end up going through the majority, if not all of this, before the end of winter, you know, pushing into March even, before we get all the way over to this end, or March or April. So that's that'll be nice to have this just fully filled up, and then we'll be focusing on running kiln runs. I've got to start a kiln run, I think, pretty soon. I've got someone that wants a custom order of 12-inch length oak, so I don't have that in stock, so I'm gonna have to run the kiln to do that, and I'll go ahead and just fill the kiln with oak at that point as well. And but I'm hoping to, I was so hoping to do this tractor trailer load without having to do that, so that I could crate it up the way that I wanted to, but it's probably looking like I'm gonna end up just running this particular load maybe into kiln baskets, or, you know, not the whole load, but I might just have to wait on doing the next one in IBCs the way I was talking, or hoping to do. So we'll see how that goes. We're kind of finalizing that order now, and I'll just walk y'all over here just to show you what we're going to be moving. And I'll be using this 2-yard bucket right here on the Bobcat S330 to move all this wood over there. It's not too many buckets, shouldn't take too long. And then this is our season stuff. That's customer pickup right here. We just rotate baskets into this area and work out of this until we get that opened up over there that I showed you earlier. So yeah, I'll move this stuff over there, and hopefully it all fits. Alright guys, I got the whole pile moved there. I was kind of a little bit worried, but we got it all done. I know you guys were with me over here, but the slab is cleaned off, and it turns out I am going to have to make that kiln load using these logs I've got, so I'm not going to be able to do my test run and see how many IBCs we get out of that load, unfortunately. But I'll bring you guys along to fill the kiln baskets. I've got to make some 12-inch wood, so I'll be filling just one kiln basket with 12-inch wood, and then we'll be filling the rest of them. What I like to do is I like to put them under the conveyor. When it comes to the kiln baskets, we like to get those as full as you can, because that kiln is not cheap to run. You know, it runs through a good bit of propane and a little bit of electricity each cycle, so we like to maximize the kiln load. And I'll kind of bring you guys along and do that, and explain that a little bit more in a future video when I'm loading those kiln baskets, and you know, load the kiln up and everything. So there's 12 kiln baskets, and if you load them off the conveyor versus loading them with a skid steer bucket or something after you make a pile, it kind of shuffles the wood down in a little bit better, and you also get a cleaner product, a better product coming through the kiln. And that's what we like to get as little debris in there, because there's no point in kiln drying debris, you know. So try to get the best product in the kiln as we can, and then you get the best product out of the kiln, of course, when it's finished drying. So, but I want to show you guys kind of what we got here. We're finished up with the bin. I'm still gonna probably set the conveyor up to pump a little bit of wood over this pile right here, and I'll see if I can kind of climb up there and show you all the scope of this. But we'll run a little bit of resplits up over the top of that. You know, probably just one trailer load, maybe two if we can fit it. I like to just get as much wood over here as we possibly can, just because I'm limited on space, limited on IBC cages, obviously limited on IBC cages. And the reason I'm limited on space is really just because we have so much space over here utilized with landscape supply, in our shop and everything else. I mean, if we were to eat into that space, we'd have tons of room here. But we want to keep that business going, and hopefully that continues to grow for us as well. So yeah, this is the room that I've got right here that you can kind of see, where I'll probably try to get that conveyor set up and just run a little bit more wood right in that valley there. But yeah, I mean, we've got it pretty well maxed out. There's not a whole lot more room. I'd say it's another trailer or two, and we'll be filled up. But you can see just the scope of the pile from up here a little bit. And I mean, I'm probably at the peaks of these piles. You know, I don't know exactly how tall those IBCs are, but you know, they're stacked 3 high. Several of them are 330 gallons, so it just depends on, you know, what we've got in each stack. But I'm another IBC on top of that easily to the peaks of these piles. So it's a good amount of wood. So. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this video up. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.